Welcome back, everyone, to Flyball and Friends. Today we have a special guest from one of the brightest colored teams on the racing lanes, Jayne from SkidMarkz. Welcome, Jayne. So glad that I could have you here on the channel today. If you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Jayne Mcquillen, and I play on SkidMarkz Flyball Club here in Iowa City, Iowa, in the United States. And I'm really lucky that I also play with my husband, and now my 8-year-old daughter is just starting to get really interested in running. And I'm also lucky because my husband's really into the technical side of flyball and building boxes and things like that, while I'm more into the training. So we're a pretty good pair.
Awesome. How long have you been playing for?
My first dog started training in the fall of 1998, and she was in her first tournament in March of 1999.
Wow, so over 20 years, that's a long time.
Yes.
How many dogs do you guys have right now?
We currently have 6 dogs. Our oldest one is an 11-year-old Aussie who is still running. And then our youngest is a 5-month-old puppy, so he's not running yet, but hopefully someday.
Awesome. Hopefully as soon as this lifts that we can get back to it.
That would be really nice.
And then all the other dogs are racing?
Yep, we have Sway, who is 6.5. She was racing until she broke her leg last year, but she looks to be on track to be running again this year or whenever we get to run again. Ping is 6, about 5 months younger than her. And we have Crucial, who just turned 4, and Wire, who is not yet 2, but debuted last year in grand style.
Wow. And
she got to run start for our U-Fly Champs finals team, so
wow,
that's
so
a heck
right
of a
into
debut.
The fire.
Yep.
That's good. And what do you do for a living?
I'm an executive assistant, and I work part-time doing that, and then I do a little bit of dog training on the side, teaching kind of basic performance prep classes, where people who are interested in sports can come and get sort of a primer for how to build a relationship with their dog and build some of the foundation skills that will take you far in any sport.
Awesome. What makes your team unique?
I think we've sort of built a collection of people that are just absolutely dedicated to each other's dogs. So it really is less about one person or one dog being the fastest or the best. It's about how we can get the best from every single dog on our team, whether they're a 7-second dog or a 3-4 dog. We just have incredible support for each other and for each other's dogs to be successful.
Cool. What got you playing flyball?
That very first dog was a terrible dog. She didn't like people or dogs, which doesn't seem like an ideal candidate for flyball, but you know, back in the day, people would just try to get anybody to play flyball. But she actually went to the first classes and did a swimmer's turn, amazingly.
Wow.
Just on her own. And even though she was a terrible dog, it was really exciting that she was allowed as a mixed breed, and that the people were all very encouraging that we could do it and that we could work through things. So having that support of, you know, a whole group of people was really what sucked me into the sport.
Awesome. That's good to hear. How often do you guys practice?
We're pretty gung-ho, and normally we practice 2 times a week.
Okay.
Our practices are like 3 and 3.5 hours each.
Wow.
And if we have a group of puppies or green dogs that all need some extra work, we'll sometimes get together and have just like a smaller practice for them. But we also have the luxury of having our own building. So we can kind of find the time easily because we have access to that.
That's awesome. It definitely shows with your success last year.
Thanks.
How often do you guys go to tournaments?
Usually once a month, almost year round. we're really lucky that we have a lot of tournaments a half hour from my house. And then where we're situated, we basically can go to any number of tournaments within a 4-hour drive, including like U Fly Champs is a 4-hour drive for us. So it's really accessible for us to play flyball.
Awesome. Do you guys travel lots for flyball or mostly just do local?
We probably do about half and half. Some of our team doesn't travel as much, but there's a certain core group that definitely like wants to go to every possible tournament we can. So we'll do more of the traveling. And again, it's not that far away. So I always feel bad for everybody who's like, I had to drive like 7 hours just to go to a tournament, when we have it so readily available to us.
Awesome. What's the farthest you've been for flyball?
Really, Indiana, which is like a 6.5-hour drive to Canada.
That's not very far.
I mean, yeah, it's really not bad.
That's cool. Have you guys done any seminars, whether it's hosted or participated in?
I personally have been to a Spring Loaded seminar, a seminar that Christy and Craig Knowles put on, and then we hosted Touch and Go a number of years ago. So those have been the 3 that I've hit.
Cool. What about, out of all the dogs, whether it's in your whole racing career, what would be the one dog that you enjoyed running over others?
I really, that's a tough one. I had a perfect dog who was always just so perfect, everything. It was so easy to run her, but I would have to say, just for the sheer exhilaration, my dog Sway, who's now 6 years old, is just the most fun to run. And I've run her enough that we're just so comfortable together. It's just so easy. And I miss that because she broke her leg last year and we're just coming back. So I'm really happy that she recovered so well and that we should be able to play again someday.
That's good. Yes, as long as this all goes away, we will be back on the racing lane. Is there any place in the world that you would love to go, whether it's compete, train, or even just watch?
I don't know. Can-Am is just my favorite. Like if I had to pick something not to miss, it's Can-Am. Just the sheer number of dogs that you get to see, whether it's Dachshunds or, Great Danes, whatever, you get to see them all there. And then I really like the format of how they showcase every division and who's the best in each of those, because those dogs are trying, just as hard as the Division 1 teams. So I really like watching all of that very tough competition.
Excellent. What do you like about playing flyball?
I love any race that comes down to 2 dogs and you aren't sure who won. I love just, when it's just neck and neck, whether it's our slowest division team or the fastest division team. I just want to see, we're really trying and we're really putting it out there and going for it to try to get the best out of each of those dogs.
One of my favorite moments would probably be when a slower dog is on one side and they're really far ahead and there's a faster dog on the other side that's making up the time. Those are fun. Who's going to make it to the end? Those are really good to watch.
Yes, I love that kind of just, you're just on your edge of your seat.
That's for sure. Is there any one team or maybe person that you love racing against?
We really like racing Animal Inn. And partially because you can be joking across the lane with them before the race, and then no matter what division you're racing them in, they're going to bring it just as hard as we do, whether it's our 21-second team or our 14-second team. They're going to go for it, and then at the end, we all joke and congratulate each other, and we're just all so happy with what our dogs did and that we got to race each other.
Awesome. What would be one of your earliest memories of flyball?
I think of the very, very first tournament I ever went to. We were totally unprepared. We didn't have a crate. We didn't have chairs. We had like the dog, a leash, and treats. Like that was all we had. No one had told us anything about it. And then I get there and they're like, well, you need to measure your dog. And I'm like, what is that? And this is a dog who didn't really like people. So I literally, got in line and measured this dog by holding her mouth closed. So ever since then, I've always tried to make sure anybody new to the sport gets a primer on what tournaments are like and what you should bring.
That's good. Good for you getting them set up for the racing lanes. What would be one of your favorite memories on or off the racing lanes?
Probably in 2018 when we qualified for the final 8 at Can-Am. We had gone into that tournament like, maybe there's some chance, like maybe other teams will pull or something and we could get in there. And so when we ended up the 4th seed and then ended up 2nd, like that was just unbelievable that whole weekend. People didn't even know who we were or where we were from. And the announcer said we were from Ottawa. No offense to Canada, but Ottawa. So it was really fun to sort of be an unknown and come in and do really well and show people what we're about and that we love to race.
That's good. I definitely enjoyed the first time I went to Can-Am and I got to race you guys. And you guys beat the pants off us, but we did end up running a record run on our own side. So I was happy that way.
Well, that's awesome. Glad we could push you.
That's right. Do you guys have any personal goals playing the sport?
Personally, I just want to make sure that each dog on our team is having fun and that they understand the job really clearly so that they can just be successful. And we have a wide variety of dogs. We've had a dog that came from a hoarding situation. And I don't think I've seen so many of my teammates cry as when that dog debuted because we all worked so hard with that dog. But we always try to keep in mind that the dogs are doing this for us and we really need to honor that and make sure that they're having fun and that we don't let winning get in the way of making sure that we're having fun and that the dogs are really enjoying the sport. Because I feel like if you just look for a win, you're going to be disappointed a lot of times. So look for fun and enjoy your teammates and, you'll win either way.
That's a good way to put it. Is there anyone in Flyball that you look up to as a mentor, whether it was first starting or even now?
When we hosted Touch and Go for a seminar, it completely changed everything about how we trained, how we organized our practices. And I really got a huge amount of support from Katie Kaler from Touch and Go. And she has continued to be someone that I talk with regularly and we can kind of commiserate. We both have large teams and there's a lot of management and moving pieces when you're trying to organize all of that. So it's kind of a unique position. So having someone that understands those difficulties and always has great ideas is just invaluable to me. She's just been a wonderful mentor.
Awesome. I'm glad someone out there is like that for you. What hobbies would you have other than playing Flyball?
Well, all my dogs get trained in agility, but we never have time to compete now. We've been doing some toss and fetch and up dog stuff, which has been really fun. I always played Frisbee with them, but never in any organized fashion. So that's been a fun thing that I've gotten into in the last year. We have 20 acres and I'm constantly doing yard work and mowing and things like that. So while it's nice to have the space, there's a lot of work that goes with that. So that's kind of a hobby. And we also really enjoy sailing, which is a little hard to do here in the Midwest where there's no large bodies of water, but we make do when we can.
That's awesome. That's something that would be fun to see. We definitely don't have that around here. So. All right, well, I think that's the majority of the questions. Is there anything that you would recommend to anyone starting out in Flyball?
Really find your own group of crazy people that really jive with you. I've been helping some teams develop in our region. And I always tell them, like, when you're looking at members, think about the amount of time you're going to spend with these people. They become a second family. So, you know, if these aren't the people that you want to spend an entire weekend with, it's okay to look for other places to play. You could find the right group and the right mesh with your philosophies if you just look around and you're willing to travel a little bit.
Fair enough. Okay, now for the tough question. I would like you to nominate or maybe challenge someone that's not on your team to do an interview with me.
You know, someone I really admire is Getty on For Fun. She has gone through a battle with cancer and had to have her leg amputated, and I've never been so amazed by someone as watching her playing at Can-Am on one leg, making it work for her because she loves the sport so much.
Awesome. That's a good suggestion. I'll have to hunt her down and see if she'd be Okay, well, thanks for doing this with me. So glad that you could take time out of your day, out of your busy lawn schedule.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on right now.
It's true. And hopefully we'll get to see you on the racing lanes again at some point.
I sure hope so. We love to play it any way we can, so.
And one year I will make it down for your tournament.
I hope so.
All right, thanks, Jayne.
All right.
Thanks again, Jayne. Hope everyone enjoyed the video today. If you didn't already, make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe button to this channel. Don't forget to comment below to anyone else that you'd love to hear on the channel. And until next time, see you then.